hold on, Glenn. I can't let you get away with that as someone from Texas. If I said, I'm going to have Southern fried chicken, what's the difference between Southern fried chicken versus Creole fried chicken?
It's no different, really. So,
Are you in? Are you in? Are you in on this conversation?
I have to clear it up because
Yes, I love it.
I'm gonna because mainly because I know, like, my wife, she cannot handle any sort of spice whatsoever, whatever. And I know if I gave her some of your Creole fried chicken, that like, I would love it, but she's gonna have a problem.
and it's funny you say that. Just because I'm from South Louisiana, I don't like spice.
There we go. So there we go.
So that's the key. That's my key with the food, with my food. I try to serve it the way I would like to eat it.
Yeah.
If you want to add more hot sauce and spice to it,
Right.
it's better for you to add it than to try to take it away.
If you're within the sound of my voice, you are listening to the Sterling Spin podcast. I am really excited to bring you a new spin for learning, loving, and living. And especially if I can give you a solution for well-being, my job is done. I'm Liz Sterling. I want to welcome you to today's program. With me in the studio is Glenn Hatcherson, and he inspired me by his enthusiasm for creating fabulous food. Your hat, Yes Chef. I saw your Yes Chef hat after I tried and sampled some of your Louisiana Bayou food, and I was very, very impressed. So let's start with a warm welcome to the Sterling Spin podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here today.
I'm glad you're here today. You're very, very spirited. You've got a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of passion for living life, for learning, for meeting people, for connecting, and also, Chef, for cooking. So roll the clock back a little and tell us how it all began.
It all began with my grandmother, being raised by my grandmother and being the quality control guy at a young age.
Does that mean that you were her guinea pig?
That's right. I was. Cakes, pies, everything. When it was getting ready to go in the oven, I tasted everything and make sure that it was all right.
So she had you in the kitchen and you were enamored with the food. Obviously, it was GOOD.
With the food, but not the baking.
Okay, so you don't bake.
Peach cobbler, that's it.
Oh, you make peach cobbler.
That's it.
Oh, wait a second. I had your peach cobbler. It was very, very good.
Thank you.
All right. What I really want you to do, if you would, is draw me a picture as well as you can using your words and imagery of where you grew up and what it looked like and felt like, summer, winter, spring, and fall. Who was around? What did your life feel like?
So I grew up in a small town called Franklin, Louisiana, in a community called St. Joseph. And it was a small community in the middle of the sugarcane fields. So I got a chance to see sugarcane grow about a mile from the house. We had a sugarcane refinery across the street from the house. It was the Bayou Tash. So we were able to go catch crabs, fish, right along the bayou side.
Wow.
And it was rich in love.
A lot of love in your
We never knew
home.
we was poor
Yeah.
because it was a whole lot of love. You could go to your neighbors and get sweets, a meal, anything. It was total love, and everybody was almost related. Everybody was almost related. And
You mean like cousins and
cousins and everything.
relations, and
Right.
everybody was in each other's homes or backyards or
Exactly.
front yards hanging out?
hanging out, everything. And actually, in my neighborhood, in the Civil War time, it was, little note to history, it was the Battle of Irish Bend. So this Irish Bend Road, it was a Battle of Irish Bend.
Who won?
I don't remember right off the top of my head, but it was all in. So you have the sugarcane fields, and it was also, you had plantations.
Okay.
So-
big, large properties
Right,
owned by
exactly.
people who had other people working on their
Yes.
plantations. And
Yes.
what were they growing on the plantations?
Sugarcane.
More sugarcane.
It was sugarcane.
So you had a sweet, loving life.
Yes.
Yes. I was trained by a language master. His name was Robert Tennyson Stevens. His program was called Language Mastery. And he said every word registers in our subconscious mind. And whatever we put in, and you know what? You know this because you talked to me about an interview that you did 4 years ago. You said everything I said in the interview is my life now. It's like unfolding. So tell us a little bit about that retrospective of 4 years ago to how we are now. And thank you for sharing your story of where you grew up. I love getting a piece of sugar cane, by the way, and eating
That was
it.
that
Yeah,
was the
that's good.
treat back in the day.
Yeah.
Growing up,
So
that was the
4
treat.
years ago, what was going on in your life that you were being interviewed, and now your reality is happening as a result of it?
So we were across the street at the Times Collaborative doing a little event. And I wind up meeting Sergio from the Longmont Public Media. And it just sparked the interest between both of us to do an interview. And it was on the founders, and it was just steps that I had in my head that God gave me, and just following through from then until now.
So when you say steps in your head, it was for you to do what?
Follow the vision that he gave me.
And what was that vision?
To do my food, but all the obstacles in between, to go ahead on and tackle these obstacles in between, because it give you a dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's up to you to follow the path.
So you're also saying the path is like, it's not straight. So you get a vision or you get a dream and you saw that happening for you, but there were obstacles that got in the way. And so when you hit an obstacle, how does the vision and the dream that God gave you, how does that help you to surmount that obstacle, get over it and through it?
So he give you the vision. It's up to you to get to the other end. If he give it to you, what's going to happen?
It's like it lives within you.
Right.
So if you get a vision, it lives within you. It becomes your passion. It's something that you are motivated and driven to do. So as clearly as you can, like put it right here for me, tell me the vision.
The vision is to be a James Beard award-winning chef. And that's what I mean from the heart.
So the food that you're cooking is food that comes from your heart, that comes from your grandmother's kitchen. I mean, I'm just putting the pieces together here.
Exactly.
Comes from your grandmother's kitchen. So
That's everything that I cook, everything that I do pretty much in some form or some way she's cooked it in my lifetime, and I'm just putting my spin to it.
And I see that you have a bottle of sauce
I
that's
do.
something that you have created, and it's got your name on it. And we should let people know that you're on Instagram and you're active. Glenn Hatcherson is on Instagram at, ready, Louisiana Glynns. And his name is spelled Glynns. So it's Louisiana Glynns.
All one.
And it's all one and it's plural. So how come it's plural?
Ownership.
Because it's
It's mine.
yours that God gave you.
Yep.
And now you're giving it to others. You feed a lot of people. I know. I've been at an event recently. There must have been 50 people, 60 people there, and everyone was able to eat your food. And I want to say you're quite a talented person. So that doesn't help the listeners and the viewers because they don't get to taste the food.
Right.
You want to keep your eyes open and your ears open for this chef because I invited him into the studio because I believe he's someone that has a message and also someone who is very inspired to fulfill what he saw as his vision and his dreams. So tell us about your day job and what your life is like as you're promoting and marketing and working on weekends. How are you managing all of this?
By the help of the good Lord.
Okay, so we've got the Lord with us.
By the help of the good Lord. So I am a forklift driver for FedEx at night. And weekends or any day I can, or let me rephrase that, not if I can. If anybody calls and asks for catering and I can do it, it will happen.
So your motto is just say yes.
That one call, that's all.
That's it. One call and
That's
you're ready to
all.
go. And that's what people do. They call you and you say, yeah. You know,
Yep.
I had a friend years ago and she was working on herself. She was doing her personal development work. And she realized that she was very resistant to doing new things. She liked her life to be comfortable. She wanted to live inside the box, you know. She didn't want to go further than her comfort zone. And then she got a message, just like you did. And her message for the upcoming year was just say yes, even if you're uncomfortable. Somebody asks you to join Toastmasters, just say yes. Somebody says, I want to know more about the work you're doing on Dreams, just say yes. And she started saying yes, and that must have been about 10 years ago. She still says yes. And her life is opened up. It's like it's wide, it's rich, and she's attracting people. So one of the things that you're saying is people are becoming more attracted to you. They're hearing about you. They're excited to be in your presence. What does this feel like as it's happening?
It's supposed to happen.
Well, that didn't sound like the way I expected. Like,
It's supposed to
yeah,
happen.
man, it's great.
It's supposed to happen
It's supposed to happen.
because with the drive and determination, it's kind of like a catch-22. So when I look at it, if I can serve a person and I can fellowship through food, it's different.
Okay, if I can serve a person, and then you say, if I can fellowship through food, those are two different things because one is the service of a person and the other one is the fellowship. And it
fellowship.
feels like it's like a connected with a larger number of people. So you're happy for both because you're feeling that service of one is sufficient.
You have to be able to serve people.
Yeah.
And with the serving of people come the fellowship, and then you build relationships.
And we're going to just go back a tiny bit because I want to get a little bit of clarity here. Remember I asked you the question, like, things are happening, how are you feeling? And you're like, it's meant to happen. Like, I'm expecting it to happen. I actually thought I would see you go, oh, it's so exciting. But where you're coming from is, I'm right on schedule.
I see it.
As a
I build a big platform for myself because who would have thought the little kid from the bayou, from the swamp, from the sugarcane field could be doing something like this?
How do you feel about doing
I
this?
feel like Tony the Tiger. Great.
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 Let's do a great together.
Great.
I love it. It feels really good. So that's the energy that I get from you. You feel great in fulfilling your mission,
Exactly.
what you understand. And even though you were this kid who came from the bayou, who was catching crawfish, who was in your grandmother's apron, who was tasting the pies in the house, who was smelling all the wonderful smells in her kitchen, today you're on your way to getting a James Beard Award.
And that's that's the biggest thing on my list.
And so obstacles, remember we talked about obstacles? Are there any obstacles to the achievement that you're envisioning you will experience?
Just knock them down and keep on going until you get to the top.
Oh my goodness. So when you started how? You made
Officially
yeah.
watching my grandmother, after sitting watching her for years and everything, it came a point to that where I had to cook a meal for the family, but she was in ICU. The nurses let me talk to her. She walked me through smothering a beef roast.
Oh my.
And from that point,
Wow, she really passed the baton to you from the ICU.
Yeah.
Did she get through and get to try your food?
She didn't,
Okay.
but the family did.
Yes, they did indeed.
And from that point, that was something.
In that moment, then that was like the light.
Yeah,
the light was lit,
boom.
the aha moment with your grandmother's energy and feeding you the information that you then fed your family. And now you take that and you feed fellowship with others that you can connect with them.
And on that, if I could back up a little note, and in between that time, I actually attended Grambling State University for a couple of years until she got real sick and she passed away. But in between that time, I had a high school football teammate. His name was Charles George. He worked at a casino back at home, and it's called the Chitamacha Casino. That's where he came to the house. Hey, man, I know you like cooking and everything. Why don't you go on and put in for an application and we'll get you in. So that's where I got all my formal training from.
From working
in the casino.
In the casino, because there were other people that were master chefs or chefs, and then you were a sous probably.
Yeah,
and
just a beginner, just not knowing anything.
Even before a sous, you were just like from
off
the beginning.
Streets.
Don't you feel that things happen for a reason?
It always happens for a reason. Your connections, the people you come in contact with, and just think this guy was a football teammate.
Right.
From high school, and we connected.
Boom, he connected you. Right,
and then from the casino, I worked out in the Gulf of Mexico on jack-up rigs, on diving rigs. Wow. So I cooked on these rigs and everything.
I want to ask you more about that. I just want our viewers and listeners to know that if you're enjoying this Sterling Spin, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, because we're here every week. Every Sunday, a new show drops, and we'd love for you to get notified. Also, feel free to comment, to share, and please subscribe. And thank you very much. With me in the studio is Glynn, and Glynn is on Instagram, and you are very active. I must say, you are so committed to fulfilling your vision. It's Instagram at Louisiana Glynns. It's all one word. And Glynn is Glynns, Louisiana Glynns. So life has carried you along. You have the vision. Let's talk about just a couple of the foods that like are your specialty. And then what does it feel like for you? Like when you're cooking, when you're preparing foods, and it doesn't even have to be for fellowship or for others, but what do you cook and how does it feel doing it?
That's what I live for. If I could get up in the morning and just fry an egg and make a fried egg and bake a sandwich, I'm good. I'm more of a cook at home guy. The reason for me starting Louisiana Glynn was because I got tired of coming to restaurants and it wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah, I get you loud and clear. I know.
It wasn't what I wanted.
Right.
So that was the big spearhead of it.
So you want to prepare for people the food that you really like and that you love. I have a few questions about some of the food that you make. There's something I watched online before our program, and it's called a roux.
Right.
And I literally watched you stir for what seemed like 20 minutes.
About 25 minutes.
Okay, 25 minutes. So I want to know what is a roux and why is it so important and what is it? It's a base, but what's it the base for? So can you give me an idea here?
So the base is flour and oil.
Okay.
And
what kind of oil? What kind of oil does it matter?
You can use vegetable oil. You can use peanut oil. You can use avocado oil.
Okay.
You can use different oils, but the roux is the base. So you can make gumbo out of a roux. You can make gravy out of roux, or you can do a stew.
Stew from a roux. I like that, which is the base of which then the food will go in.
Right.
So the roux is flour and oil. Mm-hmm. Period. That's it.
That's it.
And
or if you can't have oil in your diet, you can do a dry roux. It just takes longer on a lower fire with no oil, but you have to steady whisk and stir it, or you can put it in the oven and do it, but you still have to whisk and stir it. But that's without the oil.
And would that be with water?
Nothing.
Just
that dry roux. Yes, ma'am.
Just flour.
Mm-hmm.
Just flour, moving that flour and stirring it or whisking it. And this is a process for like on a lower flame for like 20, 25 minutes.
Maybe longer.
And you have to stay there with it. I mean, this is very time consuming. You did not let it go.
Yeah, because if you burn a roux in Louisiana, you might as well get out to buy the house.
What do you think it takes for someone to do that? To stand for 25 minutes and stir a pot?
If you want it done right, you have to stand the process.
There's no cutting corners when it comes to making a roux, that's for sure.
No cutting corners.
I heard you refer to something as the Trinity.
Onions, bell peppers, celery, green onions. I add garlic and everything to it.
So you call it the Trinity because it pretty much is in everything.
Yes.
Everything that you cook.
Everything.
What's the kind of food that you cook? How do you refer to it? Does it have a name or a label?
It's soul food.
Soul food.
It's soul food.
Soul food.
It's a Cajun Creole. Cajun Creole soul. So it's pretty much everything.
Wait a second. You know what Cajun Creole blend everything is. I don't necessarily.
But that's just a soul. It's just different territories. So you have Cajun.
Okay.
And you
Cajuns
have-
where?
in Southwest Louisiana.
Okay.
So you have your Cajuns and you have your Creole.
And my Creole
which
is
like
where in the-
French.
French.
It's all in the same area.
Right, of course, the French, right.
Yeah.
So that's more like the New Orleans area, which is,
But we're going to come down. We're going to come down the highway to the bayou where the food is better.
oh man, I may have to go there and try it. Oh, wait a second. I don't have to do that. I have you here.
That's right.
Oh, Glenn, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to not only having the Trinity in the roux, then everything else you add, because I know you put a sprinkling of love in everything that you do.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank you.
Hold on, Glenn. I can't let you get away with that as someone from Texas. If I said, I'm going to have Southern fried chicken, what's the difference between Southern fried chicken versus Creole fried chicken?
It's no different, really. Mm-hmm. So
Are you in? Are you in? Are you in on this conversation?
I have to clear it up because
Yes, I love it.
I'm gonna because mainly because I know, like, my wife, she cannot handle any sort of spice whatsoever, whatever. And I know if I gave her some of your Creole fried chicken, that like I would love it, but she's gonna have a problem.
And it's funny you say that. Just because I'm from South Louisiana, I don't like spice.
There we go. So there we go.
So that's the key. That's my key with the food, with my food. I try to serve it the way I would like to eat it.
Yeah.
If you want to add more hot sauce and spice to it,
Right.
it's better for you to add it than to try to take it away.
So your wife could have it
Could have it.
and enjoy it
including
too.
with some of that right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Today we had a chance to feel the spice of life. And Glenn, I thank you so much. I definitely say yes, chef. I am so happy to be in your presence, and the sprinkling of love that you put on everything. It really does make the world go round. So may the fellowship in your heart connect with you, the audience. And until the next time that you hear my voice or you see me here in the studio, I just want you to know that I am grateful that you are here because your presence really does matter. I'm Liz Sterling. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We'll be with you again. In the meantime, spin toward tomorrow today. Bye.